Guys, I'm Mr. Second Passport. Today I'm going to cover specifically, with a very personal example of mine, how much you can save by moving to Ecuador. So I just took her costs compared to what she would spend living a similar lifestyle in Ecuador. Now this makes two assumptions. This quick rundown I'm going to share today. One is she's a property owner and pays a mortgage in the U.S. like most of us would do up there, because credit is obviously available. And down here she would rent. She would do the smart thing and just rent, right? And the second assumption is that up there she's a car owner because you need a car in the U.S. There's no doubt about it. Whereas down here you really don't need a car. I've gone a whole year or two at a time without cars sometimes. So you don't really need a car, and it's assuming down here she would not have a car, and up there she does have a car. But now let's take a quick look at these costs and see exactly what exactly a difference would be if she did decide to up and move to Ecuador. So first of all, the rent or mortgage she pays up in the U.S. is right now $12.50 a month. That's 2023 numbers. In Ecuador, assuming she get just for her something like a 2-bedroom, nicer place, maybe an apartment in a nicer building with an elevator in a nicer part of town, you're looking at about $500 a month, roughly, right? It can go up a little bit from there, but that's about what you should budget. Health insurance, she said she pays, she's on the Medicare system and all that, but she still pays about $200 a month if you divide it out to the monthly bills. I think she pays annually though. Down here in Ecuador, you could get a public ES health insurance, or you could get private insurances, probably for around $80, a little bit cheaper than that if you're younger. The food cost I left the same because she cooks in a lot, and probably wouldn't vary all that much between Ecuador and the U.S. Unless you're a vegetarian, that would probably be a lot cheaper in Ecuador, which she is not. So natural gas fee to heat her house in the U.S., obviously very important. In a place like near Cleveland, Ohio, in February, pays about $100 a month on average for the full year. And in Ecuador, she would not have that cost because you don't really need it. Gasoline cost, she says she pays about $100 a month. She doesn't go out all that much, and you could probably transfer that to Ecuador as a taxi cost. Electric bill, $105 in the U.S. versus $15 approximately is what it would be in Ecuador. Water, $80 up there to $10 down here. Car insurance, she has to pay about $60 a month. She wouldn't have that cost in Ecuador if she moved here. The cell phone bill, up there she pays a full family plan. I think it's to Verizon, $550 a month. Pretty crazy. And in Ecuador, if it was just her, she paid $30 a month. That's what I pay. Internet, $110 up there, $30 down in Ecuador. Now she has a car payment, right, up there, $350 a month. Down here she wouldn't have that, not having a car. Home insurance, $200 a month up there. Down here she wouldn't have that because she'd be just renting, because that's the smart thing to do when you first move to a foreign country. Home insurance, $200 a month. I think I just said that. Property taxes, $200 a month as well as what she pays. Quite expensive up there in North America. State income tax. Now this is interesting. She pays about $400 a month based on her pension, which is close to $4,000 a month as a retired 30-year teacher. And down here, she might. Now you'd have to talk to a certified CPA about this to confirm this, but I know that state tax is generally based on your residency, while federal tax is based on your citizenship. So if you did not live in the state, technically you should not have to pay that state income tax. You'd have to verify that with a professional, but assuming that she verified it, because I've had a little bit of experience dealing with these guys myself that have kind of come after me being here in Ecuador. And that would be a non-cost as well. Medical drugs, miscellaneous, she says. She has a few health problems, and she has prescriptions and stuff, totaling about $400 a month over the course of the whole year. And down here in Ecuador, those same things, especially if you get the generic versions, might be closer to 100, I'm going to say, just based on personal experiences. So the totals between the US and Ecuador, her total cost with no miscellaneous, right, is $4,500 a month. This is what her cost of living is right now in Northeast Ohio. Not nearly one of the most expensive places in the US. And it's just a single older lady who doesn't go out a whole lot and doesn't drink. You're looking at a very base $4,500 a month. And that same person, that 70-year-old woman down here in Ecuador, would be spending a little over $1,200 a month, $1,265 a month, based on my own personal experiences. So that's a difference of or savings per month that someone could technically save by moving down here of over $3,000 a month, $3,240. So I just thought I'd break this down. A lot of people talk about it in generalities, but let's break down exactly how much you can make or save by moving to Ecuador. I'm Mr. Second Passport. If you like this, subscribe and hit the like button below. Take care.